right, today we are digging into a really fascinating and, let's be honest, pretty wild document that puts forward a massive theory about the moon. It all kicks off with this really strange event that supposedly went down just a couple years back. Let's get right into it. This right here, this is the whole mystery in one sentence. It's the one observation that sparks this entire rabbit hole. This quote, pulled from the document's analysis, is basically saying that whatever we heard coming from the moon, well, it just wasn't natural.
So let's start where the document does, with the event itself. What in the world happened up there that was so strange it launched this whole theory?
So the story goes that back in February 2026, a seismic sensor, one we have on the far side of the moon, the side we never see, it picked up some kind of disturbance. Now, moonquakes happen, that's not new. But this one went on for 3 solid hours. That was the first big red flag. And this is where it gets really weird. The document claims that when they analyzed the seismic data, it didn't sound like rock riding on rock. Not at all. It had this clear, metallic ringing quality, like someone struck a giant bell and it just kept vibrating for hours. And that is an anomaly that standard geology just can't explain. Okay, so you have this bizarre ringing sound. The document uses that as a launchpad, connecting it to older data and some pretty startling new claims. It basically argues that the clues that something's off have been there all along. The first clue they point to actually goes way back to the Apollo missions. For decades, scientists have known that the moon is weirdly light. Its density is just too low for a celestial body that big. The document grabs onto this old scientific puzzle and makes it the cornerstone of its theory. And here it is, the bombshell at the center of the whole theory. The document claims that new, deep penetrating radar scans have figured out why the moon is so light. It's because there's a massive 200-mile wide void, what they call a vacuum chamber, sitting right at the core. And it gets even crazier. The source says these scans found more than just an empty space. They found evidence of an engineered structure holding it all together. And get this, the materials they list are not what you'd expect to find up there. We're talking high-grade titanium, alloys that look like brass, and even, get this, elements that supposedly don't exist in nature. So what kind of theory could possibly explain a giant 200-mile-wide artificially reinforced chamber inside our moon? Well, they have an answer for that. They call it the Kona Blue framework, and the idea is as simple as it is staggering. The moon isn't a moon. Not a natural one anyway. It's a machine, a massive, purpose-built, ancient observation station that was put there to sit and passively watch the Earth. And this really lays out the argument. You've got the standard model of how a natural moon should be, and then you have what the document points to as evidence of something else entirely. Its bizarre composition, its almost perfectly circular orbit, things that just seem a little too convenient to be random. The source really leans into this, asking, what are the odds? Think about it. The moon is the exact right size and the exact right distance to perfectly blot out the sun during a total solar eclipse. Is that just a 1 in a trillion cosmic coincidence? Or, as this theory suggests, is it a feature, not a bug? All of this brings us to the most dramatic part of this whole narrative, because the document claims that ringing event wasn't just some random noise. It was a switch being flipped. So here's the critical shift. The theory says that for maybe millions of years, the moon was in phase 1, passive observation mode, just watching. But that event in 2026, that was the beginning of phase 2. It's not just observing anymore, it's now actively transmitted. And there you have it, the final shocking claim. That ringing sound wasn't an echo. It was the powering up of a transmitter, a signal that, according to this document, is now beaming out from that structure deep inside the moon. Which brings us to the document's absolutely chilling final thought, which just flips our whole perspective on its head. The suggestion is that for all of human history, we've had it completely backwards. The moon isn't our satellite, we are its project. So the document leaves us hanging with this one last, unsettling question. If the moon is an artificial station and it just turned on, what do you think is inside?